we really are family at these events. We all are very close knit, but it's also, there's a lot of times we lean on each other a lot for deals and helping our clients. And we don't necessarily see each other as competition because we're all relying on each other at all times to help each other out, just to get a deal done or to help a client meet a need. And a lot of it is very relationship driven. And so that's why we all go to a lot of conferences, is because, even though it lives a lot on Telegram, and I believe that's really the follow-up, being in person at conferences is so important to lay the foundation. And some of the best clients that I've had are the ones that I've met at conferences and really been able to spend time with. And then they're able to refer out.
What's up, everybody? It's Flamingo here. Welcome to Stackin Sats, presented by Force-Based Mining. Man, I gotta tell you, it's been a busy couple of weeks. We wear a lot of hats in the mining industry. We're working on a lot of the projects up here, and we're also traveling. Last week, we were in Houston for Empower 2023. Big shout out to Digital Wildcatters. You guys did a great job hosting. If we didn't get a chance to meet at Empower, I'll be at plenty of the other mining conferences this year. Looking forward to meeting you all. One thing I really enjoy about conversations at conferences is they're organic, especially during the bear market, when we start to see who's really here surviving and thriving in the industry. So we figured, why not bring the podcast down to Houston? That's exactly what we did. We made a little studio at the Airbnb and definitely wanted to just talk to some of my friends as well as people who I think are influential in the mining industry. So our first guest is going to be Jill Kliewer from Not Your Basic ASIC. She's fairly new in the industry, about over a year, working and selling mining hardware and ASICs, and she's just got a really refreshing perspective on all of it. We wanted to get her in here and just discuss, what does it take to broker ASICs? What are some of the nuances when it comes to buying and selling mining hardware? And one more thing is she wanted me to let you all know that she's a big fan of Justin Bieber. Don't ask why, but just wanted to make it clear. So before we begin, if you could like this video, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you get updates for any Force-Based Mining videos. As always, this is not financial advice. Please enjoy my conversation with Jill Kliewer. You operate in the mining industry. You're an ASIC broker, but you just popped out of nowhere. And I feel like one day Jill just started posting about ASICs and started having deals. And yeah, who are you and how did you kind of get into Bitcoin mining?
Yeah, so honestly, I just kind of fell into it. I fell into it by, I want to say just chose me. When I look back at how I got into it, I started helping a company list their miners online. And when I say list, we were literally just selling them on eBay and Amazon and Newegg, because that's all I knew how to sell a product online. My background is e-commerce. So when I think about, and I think really when anybody thinks about selling a product online, they think about, okay, I'm going to make a website. I'm going to make a Shopify. I'm going to put it on eBay. I'm going to put it on Amazon or Newegg. It's an electronic. This is how I'm going to sell it. But mining and Bitcoin is like a secret world. And so being from the outside, you don't realize this secret Telegram community. One of my first interactions in the community was I had texted somebody and they said, don't text me. And I was like, what do you mean don't text me? Telegram me. And I was like, why? I don't use Telegram. And then from there on out, I was on Telegram.
Yeah.
And now I don't even text.
No, I agree. Telegram was just it's first day. Hey, welcome to the job. You're in Bitcoin now. Okay.
You don't text.
Download Telegram. That's where it's all at.
Yeah. And why Telegram?
I don't know. I assume it's kind of like a WhatsApp, or of its time or now. It's a little bit more secure, a little bit more of a community base to, I know people like Discord, people like Reddit, kind of for those same reasons. But Telegram is just, It's funny because it's kind of all we know.
Yeah, well, Signal, that seems to be pretty safe.
Signal, yeah, Signal's
Yeah,
cool.
I kind of feel bad about using Signal. I don't know, the messages disappear, and I always think people get Signal from the wrong reasons. So that's why I don't even have Snapchat. I'm like, yeah,
Signal is like you just feel like you're a little like,
sneaky.
yeah, you're doing something wrong.
So I'm not the only one.
No, but
Okay.
I do have a question. Do you like mute your Telegram groups?
There's a lot of them that I do mute,
Yeah.
but I only mute like a lot of Scott Offords. Like, no offense, Scott, love you, but you will post the same thing over and over and over in all your groups. So there are some that I do have muted. I don't mute Hardware Market, which maybe I should, but I don't mute. That's when I don't mute. I do watch that one a lot. And then that's probably the only one that I don't have muted. But if I'm going to a conference, like mining meets, I'll unmute that if a lot of people are active in that, or if, for instance, I just went to a conference in Dubai and we had our own group and I didn't mute that.
Is that blockchain life?
No, I went to a secret one.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I went to a secret one in Dubai. I'll talk to you after this. Invite only.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. So yeah, do you mute yours?
I mute everything because Telegram is just like too much and there's people just like posting all the time. But in the industry we work in, you kind of just like don't not check Telegram. Like
Right.
I kind of have like this like psychological like trigger where I'm gonna check Telegram because what if someone messaged me?
Yeah.
It's just like all the time.
Yeah.
But I do have to mute everything just because it's too much. I mean, I guess like I block my notifications because
Right.
I don't just get it popping up. But I don't mute everyone because you want like the blip to pop up,
Right.
like someone talking.
What's with the last seen recently thing? Why do people do that?
Last
How
thing
do do that?
recently is
Yeah, it's like
sneaky.
okay, I don't want my girlfriend to see.
Yeah.
I don't want her to know that I just checked the Telegram, even though there's 2 blue check marks.
It's almost like you're playing hard to get. Like you were last seen recently. I know you saw my message. Like just because you didn't open it doesn't mean you didn't get the preview.
People that have last seen recently just bug me.
I didn't even know that was a setting. So that's even worse. You're like,
It is a setting. Did you not know that it's a setting?
no. So you like actively choose.
You actively choose that. Yeah, and it's just like on the iPhone where like the last read message, I think I have mine turned off. I need to.
Matthias has last seen recently on. I feel like every time I want him to respond to a message, it says he's last seen recently.
Which is a trick.
It's like, does that mean you're always on? No, now I know.
Yeah, no, it means that he wants you to think that he is always on or that he isn't ignoring you. But it makes no sense. It doesn't. I think WhatsApp has something similar.
Yeah,
We can go down
it's the same words.
We
Yeah.
could go down a rabbit hole of the things that I know.
But back to the rabbit hole. I know you mentioned you started kind of with like an e-commerce background. You started helping your business sell ASICs through like a online marketplace.
Yeah. So we started selling a lot on eBay. Like the first machines that we were selling were S9s. The owner of the company really wanted to sell S19s, but for some odd reason, S9s were selling like crazy. And we sold so many of them that we got kicked off eBay.
Damn.
Our account got suspended.
Why was that?
Why was that? Because eBay has some crazy seller limits. And, she was new into selling online and kind of new into the community. And we really didn't know a whole lot about Telegram. We didn't know about this secret society. I mean, we just need to call it a secret society because it really is. We knew that a lot of ASIC sales went on Telegram, and we got a Telegram, and we tried to grow it by adding people to our group, but we didn't really know about the certain groups like Hardware Market or Scott Offern's groups or um, like some of the other groups that are really good for selling those ASICs. I think it's really important to be in the KYC verified groups because there's a lot of scams that go on Telegram. There's some fake Jills. There's some fake Phils. There's probably some fake yous.
I'm waiting.
You're waiting?
Yeah.
That's how you know you made it.
Yeah, no, that's what our friend Nate says. Because Nate has some fake accounts, and he's always like, that's how you know you made it. They're copying who I am.
Well, recently I got my first fake account. Somebody was posting in Hardware Market about how I was, how I had an LLC in Texas, which I do, but this person said that they lived in Arizona. And I was like, hold up, guys. I do have an LLC in Texas, but I don't live in Arizona. So we figured out it was a fake account. But the kind of the scams that are going on is they'll add you into a group.
Okay.
And then the scammer will take you out of the group and put the fake Jill or, the fake person in the middle of the night.
Okay, yeah, I've been seeing that on Hardware Market. That's happened with a few vendors, and people get swapped really quickly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy how far scammers go in like our industry, and
Yeah.
you can say what you want about having to pay some Bitcoin to have to post, your business, but like that's just a good step that someone took in that channel to be like, hey, we need to be able to verify this a little bit better.
Well, in the beginning, like I couldn't even afford to be in the Hardware Market, even to be verified in that. $1,000 was a lot of money to me.
It's true.
Like to be able to pay $1,000 just to be in Hardware Market, like I could not do that. So when I worked for a couple different companies, so my first one that I helped get started, we listed all the ASICs online. I went to Bitcoin 2022. I started going to meetups. That was kind of my part-time job, but then I got fired from my full-time job because I was so into Bitcoin. And then I just decided to make it my full-time gig. And then
You're a true Bitcoiner.
Well, it just like, I don't know, I just like fell in love with the people and the atmosphere. And
was it specifically Miami like that did that? Or was that just like you were riding the Bitcoin wave,
I mean, so when I went to Bitcoin 2022 was my first conference, and when I walked in, it was very scary. I didn't realize how many men were in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I was like
every man.
Oh my gosh. And I didn't even at that point, I'm so used to going up to guys now and talking to them all day long that you guys don't even faze me. But back then, I was a little nervous to just go approach a man, or a male, and start talking to you. Just someone that had never talked to me before, So, getting used to that and just networking, just really putting yourself out there. After going through COVID and sitting behind a computer screen, it was very difficult. So Bitcoin 2022 was just kind of a shock. But I think Miami kind of draws you in and woo, it's a perfect conference for people to be friendly. Now, if you went to a conference in New York or, some other states where they're not as friendly, I think, you'd probably feel a little bit more closed off. But Miami's oh, hello.
Miami is just so in your face.
Here's a drink. Cheers. Come on.
Totally.
So I think it's a good starter conference.
Of course.
But the company that I was working for, we didn't have a booth. So we stood outside the Compass booth. And we started not recruiting people, but we started trying to find customers there. And I wish that I would have gotten to know the people in the Compass booth because I'm friends with the Compass guys now. But it's just kind of funny how far it's came. But from there, I went to Consensus, Mining Disrupt, BitBlock Boom. I went to Pacific Bitcoin. Oh God, I think I went to like 10 conferences last year. I think once I got the bug, I just went after it.
Now, were a lot of these conferences in Texas, or have you kind of just been hopping around everywhere?
Yeah, so I would say a few of them were in Texas, but a few of them were in Miami. And then I did go to one in New York, and one was Pacific Bitcoin, which was really cool. It was in California.
Nice.
Now that one really wasn't like mining, but everybody else was at WDMS in Cancun, and I didn't get my passport in time. So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna go to Pacific Bitcoin, and there were some miners there, and I had a good time. Yeah, it was good. So
No, kind of just going back a little bit, you mentioned just being like a woman having to operate in a space where it's majority men.
yeah,
And, when you look at like engineering, it's majority men, and you look at Bitcoin and it's majority men. But it's interesting because we also deal with a lot of people who work from different countries, from China, from other Asian countries, selling ASICs, and there's a lot of women out there, and they get to, not get to, but they come to the events, and they're very like business first and all, professional with it, and you are as well. But it's just interesting that it's such like a rare moment to see like an American woman who's like a go-getter in the ASIC,
yeah,
community in the mining industry. And
yeah.
I don't want to like, make it too much like, oh, hey, like you're a woman, I would never get this. But it's important to remember that, when we deal with any kind of innovation and getting people to kind of buy into something, it's about just like accepting everyone who gets to be a part of it. And I feel like not only have you done a great job with that, but from what I see, people reciprocate really well to it. Like you have made a lot of friendships with a lot of people in the industry. So it's super cool because you don't just sit here and say, as a woman, this is what I experience. You also then make sure that you're like interacting with all of the men in the industry, and you're also being understanding of our perspective as well.
Oh yeah, because the things that I go through as a woman, a man can go through just as well. And I've seen that. I mean, there's challenges like that we go through, that men go through, and I just try to see it from all sides. And I hope more women do come in and do Bitcoin mining and learn about it. But SHA-256 really isn't that sexy. So
what do you propose? How do we get women to think SHA-256 is sexy?
We just gotta educate them a little bit more. And maybe I think that's my job. I think that it just takes more women to educate more women and show them that, hey, this is the importance of it. Because I think that SHA-256, Bitcoin mining can create financial freedom for moms, single moms, married moms, women who need that financial freedom outside of their spouse, and to create that financial independence, not just for them, but for their children. And I think that it can help with that. It sure has helped me. It's helped me learn a lot about money, how broken USD is, and how we can change that, and how I can help change that, even if it's small. Yeah. And so I think part of it starts just with me and other women that are just currently in the industry educating it and educating other women, and other men too. But maybe it's even men telling their wives and bringing them to these events, because a lot of people are leaving them out at home, and it'd be cool if you brought them out, because it can be a little lonely out here.
No, my girlfriend's gonna be really happy to hear you say that, because Sage is super smart, and she definitely wants to come out to these events. I
Yeah.
want to bring her out, and you are close with someone who I'm, mutual friends with, Edwin, all of us in
Yeah.
Milwaukee, Scott,
Yeah.
and he does a good job putting on for like families and kind of creating the other side of the industry that we often overlook. And I think that's, in a sense, when you do break it past like sexes, it is like what you're saying. It's like, how do we just create spaces where it encompasses everyone who's involved in Bitcoin mining? Like you're saying, this is for people who want to create financial stability for themselves and to learn more about finance, and understand how their money works and what are the other options. I think it's really cool to also include families and loved ones and friends, and it's a good place for us to start with all of it. And
Yeah, and I think sometimes our significant others think that, going to these events, we're all just partying with our Bitcoin friends and this and that. And we really are family at these events. We all are very close knit, but it's also, there's a lot of times we lean on each other a lot for deals and helping our clients. And we don't necessarily see each other as competition because we're all relying on each other at all times to help each other out, just to get a deal done or to help a client meet a need. And a lot of it is very relationship driven. And so that's why we all go to a lot of conferences, is because, even though it lives a lot on Telegram, and I believe that's really the follow-up, being in person at conferences is so important to lay the foundation. And some of the best clients that I've had are the ones that I've met at conferences and really been able to spend time with, and then they're able to refer out. And especially like the vendors and the suppliers, that's so important too. And being able to meet people.
no, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it is a lot of fun. I mean, we have fun.
Yeah.
We all enjoy each other, but it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of hard work too when we're here as well. So.
No, absolutely. I think you just like brought up a super important part for me as well, is this is our time when we get to actually see each other, and all we have are like these 3, 4, 5 days where we spend with each other, physically, actually like getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And then from that, we break away to Telegram. For me, or, whatever your communication source is, for me, it's also a good way to vet people. Like, I'm super happy when I get to meet people who I've been communicating with over these chats. It just means that when we're working with our clients and potential clients, we do build a better rapport. We can actually say we shook these people's hands. We know that they are legitimate.
Yeah. I mean, there's some really great brokers out there that do great business on Telegram, but I've never met them in person. And I wish don't you long to meet them in person? Like I do. I long to meet them in person, not because, I don't think they're not legit, because they are, and I've done deals with them, but because it just means something to have your presence. And it's hard to get away from your family. But it means something. And when your clients are spending that amount of money with you, or even if, a broker refers you to another client, or even a broker comes to you and purchases on behalf of their client and they're your client, it's so important to be there and present to build that relationship. So that's why I go to a lot of conferences, and not only because I enjoy it, 'cause I'm a people person, but because I also really like building relationships with people and getting to know them. And I really just see people as my friends. That's why as I've gone, and now that I've been in the industry a little bit longer, like I get more excited about coming to these conferences because I know more people. And so it's fun to kind of like figure out the new people and kind of welcome them in. So
no, definitely. And I'm really appreciative that, we've been able to spend some time and to record this episode and to just hang out and catch up. And it's super refreshing and super awesome. And I just love when, I don't know, I think of myself going through just like getting to know people in the mining industry. And like, I'm not a shy person, but I'm shy when I don't know where I am. And I just felt like after a couple conferences, after a couple times of meeting people, that's just like broken down right away. And now it's just like literally like these are friends, these are people who I get to like hit up, who I get to joke with, who I get to call.
Yeah.
And as always, I like to talk about these things on the podcast because I also want to have a better like representation of the kind of work that we do. Like it's all jokes aside, when people ask us what is your job, and you're like ha ha ha, and they're like no, but really what is your job? But there is something rewarding from it, and it's about us getting to build a better idea of what is Bitcoin, what is working with people in Bitcoin, which is why like full circle, it's funny to see you just pop out and maybe not out of nowhere.
So bad. People say that will just pop out of nowhere. I actually feel like I was around for a while, and there were a lot of people that actually knew who I was. Outside of Telegram. I wasn't active on Telegram because I didn't really know about the groups, but I went to a lot of conferences. So I knew a lot of people that were already active on Telegram, and then all of a sudden I figured out those darn groups. And then I became active, and then I was a force to be reckoned with. I'm just kidding. But then I think more people started to kind of figure out who I was. But I just like to help anybody who, needs help, or I'm here to support, and I don't like to be, threatening to anyone, because I know we're all, I'm just here to support, everyone through it. And
you scare a lot of people probably.
you think?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Fire deals.
With my fire deals?
Yeah, you probably.
Oh my God.
Probably a lot of people are concerned. They're like, oh shit.
Well,
Jill's posting. I'm going to go crawl up in the corner.
Oh my gosh. Do they really think that?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, I did get a message from a friend that said something about my prices, and I said to him back, well, I'll buy them from you if you can find the supplier.
What'd they say back?
Wouldn't they say back? Okay.
All right.
I said, here's the state.
See, you're scary. Most people can't just be that straightforward with it.
I said, if you're mad about my prices, just figure out who the supplier is, and they'll buy them from you if you can give me a better price.
Honestly, with ASICs, that's kind of how it works.
Because they were upset I wasn't buying them from them. And I was like, well, you don't know who the supplier is. And neither do I. I'm buying it from another broker. So just figure out who it is. I buy it from you, man. You can give me a better price. I'm very loyal to my suppliers. And I had done a lot of business with this one, but I felt a little kind of peeved. I was like, here's my advice. Don't be the broker that watches everybody else's prices, because that's how you know when you have too much time on your hands. Be the broker who's focusing on, or just the business owner, the person that's nurturing your clients, checking in on your clients, and working on developing relationships with others, to where you're not focused on what everybody else is doing, because that's all noise. You're losing money when you are focusing on what everyone else is doing. So I don't spend all day in these channels watching everybody else's prices and bully dogging. Like there was a time in the beginning that I did watch a lot of people's prices. I don't do that anymore, because not that I don't have time, it's just I don't make it a part of my day, because I would like to be focusing on other things, maybe finding new suppliers, or finding better prices, or checking in on my clients, or, and doing those sort of things, rather than, because I feel like it's a comparison game at that point. Sally and Susie can both buy from this mining site that's going out of business. We all know who this is, but the person that's going to buy from you is going to buy from you because they have a relationship with you and they trust you. Yeah. They have a choice of who they shop with, just like you could go to Walmart or Target. Why do you choose to go to Target? Or why do you choose to go to Walmart? Well, Walmart may be more convenient because it's next door. Or Target, I'd rather drive farther to go to Target. It's more expensive, but I trust Target has what I need, etc. You have your reasons for buying from people. So that's why you should just focus on being you and developing your personal brand, because people need you to be you.
No, that's a fantastic point. I don't think most people walk into a Walmart or a Target with a notepad checking the prices of everything and being like, oh, well, this one's 35 cents cheaper and this one's $1 cheaper.
Right.
Definitely a super like mindful point to remember when you're just riding high from the bull market wave,
Yeah.
and then now all of a sudden clients are becoming, farther and fewer.
Yeah.
It really is about how are you solidifying yourself in these moments, and
Yeah.
I think you bring up a lot of great points. Don't go chasing the price, chase your vision, why you're establishing these relationships, why
Right.
it's worth it working with you as opposed to anyone else.
And I would say, like, if your prices are 50 cents higher than Joe's prices or Sally's prices, I'm just making up names. Why do you believe that your prices should be 50 cents a terahash higher? What value do you bring? And then taking that and marketing that value. Well, maybe you offer a 7-day DOA that all the other brokers don't offer. Maybe you're offering things that other people don't have, or maybe you have more reviews on these sites, or maybe you've been around and you've done it longer, so you're able to charge more. So there's all these different things that you could take into account. But yeah, just taking your strengths and marketing those is really important. So
That's fantastic.
yeah.
What's in store for the future?
Well, I'm definitely going to Dubai next year. And
Is this a secret? Is this another secret Dubai trip?
This is the same conference. I got invited again. Just some things that are in stores. I just plan on traveling, and honestly, I just feel really great about this year, and I'm excited. Honestly, I think we're all really excited about 2024.
Yeah.
I think we're all just kind of
I'm
yeah.
like, I really am excited about this year's conferences because I feel like we have so many people who are just hyper intelligent, who are
Yeah.
just really focused in on what it is they want to provide their value add onto Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining. These are tumultuous times, they're hard times, but we have a decent amount of history where we know generally how this goes,
Yeah.
and it's about building, a stronger version of it right now.
Yeah.
So definitely with you on looking forward to what's to come. 2024 should hopefully be very
Yeah.
interesting, and
I'm just here for the ride, and I'm kind of thinking about other things that maybe I want to expand on, other hobbies I have, and how to kind of mix that into Bitcoin. And so I have some cool ideas that I kind of want to bring. So
any you're willing to share?
not yet, but I'm excited. I think you'll I'll be able to talk more about it at maybe Bitcoin 2023, and maybe off camera I'll tell you a little bit about it. But I have an idea of something else I kind of want to do. It has to do with Bitcoin, but it's kind of fun. So
Do you ever stop working?
I think my mind is always going. So probably not.
Do you have any vacations coming forward that aren't related to Bitcoin?
No, I feel like my conferences are my vacation.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Probably not. I probably really should take a legit vacation.
No, but this is why I'm like, oh my God, where did Joe come from? And it's like, yeah, well, I'm like still playing Skyrim, like
Yeah,
I've been playing this game for like a decade, and it's like
a lot of people don't believe it, but I have 3 kids, so I think I always stay
Really?
super freaking busy.
damn.
Yeah.
We're just trying to keep up with that.
It's just fun. I just roll with the punches and try to make light out of whatever comes my way, because life is a roller coaster, so you might as well get on and enjoy the ride.
Just, what do you have anything about Bitcoin that you want to leave for your children, or what is family in relation to Bitcoin with you?
Yeah, so so my son who has autism loves to take apart and put together Bitcoin miners. And so we get on YouTube and we try to find mining videos of just the mines, like with the miners running, and we can't find very many videos. So can someone please, I'm asking you to just send me videos of your mine, like all your miners running. We just need the noise and fans. That would be really appreciated.
We're gonna get your socials linked down to here. And
Yes.
definitely have a call to action.
Yes.
That we need to get Jill more mining farm sounds.
Yes. So we do. We need videos.
I'm also big into like white noise and ASMR and stuff, so I
Yes.
probably would fall asleep to a mining farm running in the background.
Yes. We love it. He loves it. So he loves fans. So if anybody wants to donate some old broken S9 fans, that would be awesome too, because he loves to take and put those back together in our S9s. But my son is really into anything like fans and Bitcoin, like, taking apart and putting back together. So he talks to me a lot about Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners. I really want to take him on a tour.
How old is he?
He will be 6 in April.
Your 6-year-old son is telling you about how to repair Bitcoin mining machines.
Yeah, his pictures. I'll show you.
Did he get you into it, or did you get him into it?
He one day came up to me and said Bitcoin miner. And I was like, oh God, I've been talking about it way too much. Like this poor little dude. And you gotta realize, like with autism, like they don't talk. He talks. He only talks about things that he wants to talk about.
So you knew it's like if he's bringing up Bitcoin mining, it's in his head.
Big deal.
He's thinking about this.
Yeah, like this kid, like you ask him a question and he won't barely, and you'll have to ask it 12 times to really get an answer. And so he just kept talking about Bitcoin miners. And so there was an S9 in the garage. So my very first job in mining, where we sold the S9s, she had sent me one because she wanted me to basically plug that in, find my IP address, get ant pool. I wrote a tutorial on how to create your own, we'll basically set up your pool and like get a wallet and
Sure.
all that. So I still had this S9. Well, he saw that there was a Bitcoin miner in the garage and it had a fan in it. So we got the screwdriver out and we started unscrewing it and, taking it apart. And then before you know it, a couple days later, I took him on, we went to ACS, or Advanced Crypto Services, in Fort Worth. It's a mining repair facility, and he got a tour of their facility, and they actually hire people with autism.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing? So now anybody that buys miners from me, usually if they need repairs, I'll send them to ACS because I like to support them.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. But that's a little bit about Connor. And then my dad almost got scammed on Instagram by Amy on the Texas blockchain. No, she didn't, but a scam account.
Yeah.
He called me up one day and he goes, Jill, Amy, your friend Amy from Texas blockchain is messaging me trying to sell me miners. And I go, Dad, ask her what SHA-256 is. Well, I just got blocked. I was like, yep, Dad, that's how you know it's a scammer.
Wow.
When
Damn.
Yeah. So my parents are really my dad really wants to start mining. And I think my kids are really involved. They know what mining is and Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin. Every time I was on a conference call, my 3-year-old, well, now she's 4, would go, Bitcoin? This was during like COVID, like everybody worked from home.
Sure.
And she'd always go, Bitcoin.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
That's like the future I want to manifest. Like a bunch of children just rambling to me about Bitcoin.
Yeah. So they go through phases. My 8-year-old is just kind of, So.
Yeah, she's preoccupied. There's a lot going on.
Well, she did tell me her favorite YouTuber, Adley. I don't know if anybody knows who that is. Probably not. But there was an episode where her dad does a mining tour.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A Bitcoin mine?
A Bitcoin mining tour. And she comes up to me and she shows me the video and she's like, look. And I was like, I gotta figure out who this dude is. Because this little YouTuber has like 3 million subscribers. And I'm like, the mining world is so small.
Yeah. Her dad's probably on Telegram.
Her dad is I could probably connect Adley and my daughter.
That would be insane. You could do a meetup.
Exactly. I told her, I was like, maybe I can figure out who Adley's dad is because it's so small. So yeah, they're all kind of involved in it.
Nice.
Yeah, in their own way.
And I'm sure that's really awesome when you do get to spend the time with them and have them be involved. And
yeah, for sure. They all love it. So it's fun.
I feel like I don't even know what time it is at this point.
It's mining time. It's time to check the slush pool.
The slush pool.
I'm just kidding.
Time to check the block height. All of it.
Yes, it's time to check Bitcoin. What are we at right now?
Probably something where people are like, it's gonna crash. It's gonna crash, bro. Trust me.
I think it's kind of like a girl. It like tricks you and teases you.
Yeah, it's like the worst.
Is Bitcoin like dating?
No, Bitcoin has more enjoyment. I feel like, from what my friends tell me, social media dating sounds horrible.
I'm newly single, so this is very interesting. So social media dating.
Just don't do it.
I'm not going to. I just feel like I go to enough of these conferences.
Exactly.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, you meet plenty of people, and it's the best way is to meet people in person.
There's no point, and I'm not even there yet at all, but I'm just thinking like, really apps? Like, why?
I wish I knew.
Believe it if I told you I've never had a dating app, ever?
You're lucky. I mean, I had to do dating apps, and yeah, those are terrible. Absolutely terrible. But my theory is so is dating. And it's kind of just like, it's social media, so it makes the worst of it. Shitcoins. Shitcoins are like social media dating apps. And Bitcoin is like falling in love at first sight with someone. You know? It's very special.
Proof of work.
It's proof of work.
It's proof of work.
Exactly.
Wow.
Well, Jill, it's been a great time talking with you today.
It's so fun.
I feel like I was supposed to ask you about how you got into the industry, and I feel like we did cover it, but it was also just great to talk with you about a whole lot of subjects, and just really happy that we got to have this time. And we should also give a shout out to digital wildcatters. We are here for Empower.
Cheers to that.
MT, but
we're here for Empower.
Yeah, we're here for Empower. So we're really looking forward to that, and
I'm excited.
This is a great way to start the week, and really looking forward to the conference. Wishing you luck.
Wishing you luck too.
Thank you. And hope we get to do this sometime soon.
Yes, it'll be great.